Thank you, Madam Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters. Is anyone in here in sales? Does anyone own a Rainbow vacuum? Good. Basically, we're all in sales. When we interview for a job, I'm selling myself. I'm hoping that that job is offered to me versus the other candidate. How about when we're at church? You'll see us at church on weekends, and then we're in the workplace. Are we acting the way the church would hope we would act? Because we're representing the church. How about Toastmasters? You might give a really wonderful speech at the office, and someone might comment on that. And you'll say, oh, it's my Toastmasters Club. We're selling that Toastmasters Club. How about if you're dating someone and you're very fond of that person, and you put your best foot forward, hoping that they're fond of you too? You're selling yourself. So we really are selling in the selling business. But the cold call, like Revathi read today, has to do with an expensive item. And a lot of times when you're selling something very expensive, people are hesitant. And that's good to be cautious. Also, when you're selling something that's more expensive, you're dealing with more than one person. You're selling a house, a car, a vacuum. You might be dealing with more than one person. In the workplace, when someone buys something for the office and it's expensive and it turns out to be a flop, you might get demoted. You might lose your job. It's terribly embarrassing. How about in your own personal life? You find that house that's for sale and it's the right price. It's your dream home. And you go to enroll the kids in school, and you decide that that school does not meet your standards. So suddenly, you're putting them in a private school, you're paying tuition. Did you figure that into your budget? Or driving across town to a different school district? All these expensive ideas you have to put a lot of thought into it. Because if you are putting your kids in a different school district, maybe you won't have the money to buy a new car like you wanted to, or go on vacation. Selling expensive products requires a different approach than selling an inexpensive one. Like if I was selling a toaster, you might look in the Target ad and say, oh, they're on sale, I'll go pick it up there. Versus a vacuum, an expensive vacuum. But now the roles have changed. Now the seller is looking for buyers. A cold call presents a special challenge to the salesperson because I will be trying to convince someone in the audience that this is the vacuum they need to have. They're pretty much busy with day-to-day life, not thinking about their vacuum. But I am going to try to ask them some probing questions. My goal tonight is to persuade the buyer that this product will benefit them. I hope to demonstrate that I'm credible, knowledgeable, that they can trust me with their investment, and offer some good communication. The second part of my speech tonight, I'm going to role play. I'm going to ask Yaroslav and Elena to come up. They're going to be my target audience tonight. And I'm going to ask them to think, react, and behave just like you were a potential buyer. And in the last part of my speech, I'm going to open it up for questions that you might have for me or ideas for me to be a better saleswoman. Well, hello. Thank you for letting me into your house tonight, Elena and Yaroslav. Your neighbor just bought this vacuum from me, and they get a discount when they give me names that let me into their house to show off this vacuum. And basically, I'm not going to say much about this vacuum because I think it's going to sell itself.
I know what you're good about.
You You have heard of, you've not? Oh. Do you have a vacuum now?
Yeah.
Yes. And do you like your vacuum?
Mm-hmm.
You do? Okay. And what do you like about your vacuum?
It's almost there is no noise when we are using it. It's just wonderful.
Okay. How long have you had it?
Remember? About a year.
About a year. Okay. Well, it's nice when it's very quiet. That's a really nice feature. Well, this is a rainbow vacuum, and it's a water filter system. So basically, I fill up this, and I set it in here. And when I turn it on, the air goes through here, through the water, and guess what? The dirt stays in the water. And for my husband who has allergies, he used to sniffle every time I would vacuum. And this has been absolutely great. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about the history of the rainbow vacuum. It was started in 1919 by Electrolux, which is in Sweden. And then and it was the very first water filter vacuum. And in 1935, they sold the patent to a Lux company, which is in Troy, Michigan. And all their vacuums are made in the USA. So we're keeping people employed. And it continues to be manufactured in the USA. And the rainbow cleaning system will never be sold in a store. You'll never see it in a store. We only sell it in the home demonstration.
If I can find the best buyer.
No, you will not. No.
That's why we put another one.
I want to tell you about when the first time I saw a water filter system. My grandma had one, and I was just a young girl, so that must have been maybe in the 1960s. And I was so fascinated with her vacuum. And then I got busy with life. And my coworker in 2003 said, "I just bought a rainbow vacuum. Can I give them your name so I can get the discount?" And I said, "Sure." And it made me think of my grandma's vacuum. But I did not tell my friend, even before the demonstration, I was going to buy it. I was just already sold on it. The nice features I want to tell you about this vacuum, like I said, my husband has allergies. So it never releases dust into the air. We also have pets, and it just is wonderful with pet hair. And lastly, when we had our babies and they would crawl around on the floor, I wanted to feel good that their hands were, not in anything yucky, and I just felt good that this vacuum was doing the job. Like I said, the nicest thing about this vacuum is the water filter system. It has a Hurricane motor, and it is the biggest BTU motor on the market. Another thing, we use it up at our cabin. When we were building our cabin, we had a lot of sawdust and drywall and stuff like that in our house. So if you turn it around like this, take this piece off right here, instead of sucking it in, it blows it up. And so we can blow everything out of the house. And we would fill our water toys, the big blow-up water toys. In 2 minutes, that thing would have everything blown up. And it also, we ended up getting water in our boat. And this is a shop vacuum. It sucks up water and sand and everything. So within minutes, we had that already fixed up, and it turns into a shampooer. You can shampoo your carpet. I must say, though, it's a little clunky. There's kind of a petite woman there, so it's a little clunky, but then I had to decide, do I like the quality that it does, or am I inconvenienced a bit? And I decided to go with the quality of it. So, should we give it a try?
It was very convincing. Probably we need to, you said it was made in the USA, right?
Yes, it is.
We need to create more jobs in the youth.
I like it.
Policy. So we will buy it.
Guess what, it's $3,000.
Oh.
But thank you very much for letting me into your house. Thank you. Any thoughts, anything I could have improved on? I probably only have time for one question. I see I'm running out of time here.
I have
Yes.
suggestion. Probably you'll need to ask more questions to us, so we'll have opportunity to describe what do we need, what we don't like, and it was like closer to monologue instead of dialogue.
Yes.
It was excellent description of the product, but we had no chance to say something or wishes. So
Mhm.
other than that, it was just wonderful.
Thank you. Then Toastmaster.